Okay, good morning, all. Let's continue with the class. Today, we'll continue with the topic we were discussing. We were on employability skills. So, let's continue. Okay, so let me share the screen. So, we were talking about communications and different types of communications we have covered up. We have basically two oral and written kind of communication, and there are different kinds of communication we have. And we also discuss about three P's for the public speaking. You should prepare it thoroughly, then practice all the things in front of a mirror or in front of your family and friends, and then perform it without any trouble. So today we'll talk about non-verbal communications. In this session, we'll talk about what are non-verbal communications, what are the different types of it, and seven C's for the communications. A non-verbal communication is a message we send to others without using any word, right? So basically, we send a message without using a word, right? So that is non-verbal. Now, as you can see in this figure, what all will cover up in this, like you can express with some expressions, like emojis can be used, posture can be used to express your thoughts, gestures can be your hand movement, your body movement can be used. With the help of touch, like shake hand can be done, space, eye contact, and para language. So these are all different kinds of non-verbal kind of communication methods. So generally in this, we use expression, gestures, and body postures, right? Now, what is importance of this kind of communication? Now, in our day-to-day life, it is observed that most of the communication is done using body movements. Like we can express the things with the help of face or arm movements or certain voice controls like tone, pauses, etc. Right? And less than 10% is done using words. So most of the communication part, as you can see in this pie chart, that major portion is about non-verbal kind of communication. Very less percentage is given to the verbal communication, and certain voice control, which is also non-verbal communication, is also used. Right, the maximum kind of communication done is with the help of these things only. Right now, non-verbal verbal communication is exchanging information without words. One is hand movements or gestures and body language, like you raise your hand to greet, point your finger in anger, right? So this indicates a kind of message to the receiver. Expressions can also be like smiling face shows happiness, a sad face shows that you are upset, right? So these are some kinds of non-verbal communications. So it makes your message more stronger, right? Whenever we are sending a message, so with the help of these non-verbal communication standards, the message will become more stronger. Now, how do we make it stronger? We use more right gestures and postures, right? Which is generally used when you're working professionally. and use the right gesture while speaking. That makes a message more effective. Like if you are talking to somebody and you are smiling, so that adds on the effect, right? Then knowing non-verbal communication help us understand our audience reactions, right? And it help us to adjust our behavior and communication accordingly. So if your audience is happy, so you'll be able to see those that happiness with the help of smile they have on their face, right? And if a verbal message are blocked by noise or distance, etc., then we can use our hand movement to exchange our message. Likewise, in these classes also, in Zoom classes also, if you people have doubts, and instead of writing a message to the host, we can simply raise our hand. So the hand movement help the communicator, the person who is communicating, to understand what basically whether the communication is going proper or not. Like for example, placing a finger on the lips indicates to keep silence, and nodding the head says yes, right? So these are some type of it. Then we'll talk about different types. Types में एक facial expressions हैं. As you can see, different emojis we people are using in our social platforms, social media platforms, right? WhatsApp वगैरह में हम लोग use करते हैं emojis and all. So this express the feelings. Like if you're happy, you can put up a happy symbol. If you're sad or angry, you can put up some certain kind of facial expressions. Like smile when you meet someone. When you relax, you can put a calm face, then match your expression with what you are saying, right? So it is how we can use these kind of expressions. Postures also gives an important role. Postures are basically the positions of the body, right? It shows the confidence level and the feeling you have. So whenever you are communicating, your body should be relaxed, the shoulders should be straight. Always sit straight, rest your hands and feet relaxed in a position. Feet should touch the ground, and keep hands by the side while standing. When you're standing, your hand should be at the side, your hand should not be moving. So that also gives a positive communication to the receiver. Body language and gesture, it also describes the movement of the part of the body, especially hand, head, etc. So this includes waving to somebody, pointing to somebody, right? Using your hands while speaking, right? Like if you raise a hand, that means you are asking something, you are asking a question kind of thing, right? And you're biting your nails, that means you are nervous. So avoid pointing at the people with your finger. This should not be done. And bend your head a little while talking, right? That means you're paying attention. So bend your head a little and avoid pointing. Touch में आता है to communicate a great deal through your touch, such as handshaking, patting on the back. So if you have a firm handshake, that means you are confident, right? And sports coaches, they give pat on the back place to encourage them. Fine. So shake hand formally. Always shake hand formally, and avoid other gestures, touch gestures during formal communication. Whenever you are formal, you are talking to some professional, that time you should avoid your touch gestures, right? Handshake can be done, but that can be done for greeting only in the beginning. Space is a physical distance between people, and it is also important to maintain proper distance while speaking. So we should have proper space depending upon the relationship you have. If it is a formal kind of communication, formal means when you're interacting with certain official, certain then in that case the space between the people should be there. If, and when you're talking to a friend, right, or a family member, then the space is generally less, the closeness is there, right? Eye contact is again important. This we have discussed in the previous sessions also, right? So it shows your interest or anger. So when two people are looking directly to each other into the eyes, that shows that you are paying attention, right? Or looking away when you are talking to somebody means you are ignoring that person. So always look at the person whom you are speaking. Keep a relaxed and pleasant look, right? You should, your look should be pleasant. You should feel relaxed while seeing somebody. Or break the look every few seconds. This is also important. Continuously staring somebody is also distracting, leads to distraction. So whenever you are looking at somebody, it's not that if you keep on looking him, give a break in between. Then we have para language, which means how you speak. Your tone, your voice, your speed, your volume can make a difference in the meaning that you want to show, right? Speaking too fast may show happiness, excitement, or nervousness also. And speaking too slow may show seriousness or sadness, right? So use a proper tone and a volume while talking, and maintain the moderate rate for talking. This is important when you're talking to somebody. Your speed of talking should be moderate. It should neither be too fast, it should neither be too slow. Moderate speed रखनी चाहिए, right? So that's all about this. Now next stage we have visual communication. Visual, where we are which involves the sending and understanding messages only through images and pictures. So we use pictures and images for uh, giving a kind of message. So the main advantage of using this is that you do not need to know any particular language for it. Right? Even if you are not knowing a language, even then you can express the things to the person, right? So let's see the table. There's a table giving how examples of certain visual communications, like these traffic symbols communicates us not to blow horn. Lights, red, blue, yellow, and green. Yes, we know red indicates to stop, green to go, and yellow to wait. The symbol show that it's a ladies and gents toilet, right? Then railway crossing, flammable substances, slippery surface is there. Sign used to pause a video, no smoking zone. So these all are indicators of different kinds of visual communication. So with the help of these visual symbols, the people can be given a kind of information, right? Then we have certain activities. MCQs, read the following options given below and choose the correct option. Which of these is a positive facial expression? Positive means good. Staring hard is not good. Nodding while listening. Wrinkled wrinkled forehead doesn't make any difference. Looking away from the speaker is also not good. Nodding while speaking is okay. So when you're speaking to somebody, you're nodding. Nodding means you are saying yes to them. Why does an upright body posture convey? What does upright body posture convey and show? Upright means you are sitting straight or standing straight. So this shows shyness, fear, confidence, intelligence. It shows confidence. Which of these is not an appropriate non-verbal communication? Putting arms around a co-worker's shoulder. So when you put arm around somebody's shoulder, co-worker is the person who is working with you. So handshaking formally, firm handshake is always good. Looking at the speaker while with a smile is also good. Standing with a upright posture is also good, but putting an arm around the coworker's shoulder is not good. So this is the odd one out here. So when you're preparing for a presentation, you should focus on the message, practice hand gestures, try different speaking techniques. So all of this is the answer. All these things are important when you're giving a presentation, right? So likewise, we have some other questions also. You can practice them. We'll move on to the next part. Next is pronunciation basics. Pronunciation is the way you say a word or a language, right? So when you speak out, that way of speaking is called as pronunciation. Now, if you do not say a word correctly, others cannot understand that whatever you are saying, right? So in this session, we'll talk about what all are the proper way of speaking a word or sentence. So always this correct pronunciation will help you express yourself in clear and confident manner, right? Speaking properly, common mistakes that people make when they are not able to pronounce words. Therefore, it is important to clearly and correctly pronounce the words. Now, say the following words: your, world, chair, wear. Also, try saying words aloud: fall, fail, fall and fail. Right? The if you say fall and fail, both are almost similar, but there's a difference in saying. Sail and sail, tail and tail. Right? So sometimes the words which have similar spellings are pronounced differently, and sometimes words which have different spelling may be pronounced in the same way, right? So always the best way to learn a correct pronunciation of a word is to listen carefully. So this is important. Phonetics. Now, how do we pronounce words? We use sounds to speak. Every word is made up of one or more sounds. So we put these words together to pronounce the word. So this is phonetic. Phonetic is basically the study of the sound that we make when we speak, right? So how do we pronounce? For that, we need to divide a word into different sounds. Like dog is the word, it has three sounds: d, o, and g, right? So d, o, g will combine together, will form dog, right? So always practice in this way. So whenever you have a word, divide that word into different sounds and then combine the sounds together, right? So you can show as shown in the Hindi here, the k, at, and the cat ban jayega, right? So in English there are 26 letters, and we use these 26 letters to write English, and but we use more than 26 sounds than we speak English. So the number of sounds are more, right? So for example, this a can be used in different way. Like cat में a की sound है, car में a की sound है, call में a with the half of the sound, right? So ये अलग a can be used in various ways, right? So that's the importance. Your pronunciation should be clear with this thing. You should be clear with all these kind of things. Types of sounds. Every English word are made up of three basic types of sounds, right? We have three different categories of sounds. One is the vowel sound, then we have consonant sound, and the combination of sounds of two vowels. Okay, diphthongs, where we have two vowels together. So vowels, we have A, E, I, O, U. These are the five vowels, but they have 12 different vowel sounds, right? And most of the vowels can be pronounced in different ways, right? as we have just seen a and a both are related to a. And second category is consonant sound, is the way sound that is neither a vowel nor a diphthong sound, right? And diphthong is which combination of two vowels, right? Just say o and u, right? Um, it is house, right? A and u, both are combined, right? So such is the second category. Then vowel sounds के definitions हैं. Just e, double e. E is when you are writing double e, that means it's a sound of body e, right? When you're using I, means it's the shorter e sound, right? Smaller e, right? Double e with the deep sound, I with the short sound. So slip, dip, fill, sleep, keep, feel. Similarly, U for shorter sound and double O for the louder sound. Book, boot, right? ऐसे ही diaphones में है E A is used for छोटी E and A, near, A E for A, and O A for smaller O, and O U for A and U taken together, right? Near, late, boat, and mouth, right? The sound is important over here. Consonant, P for per, T for ter, and K for k, L for l, like pen, train, book, look. So that's the study of different kind of sounds we can use, right? So whenever the important thing is that while pronouncing, the best way to learn is to pronounce them correctly and then practice, right? So practice is more important. Moving further, the next is communication styles, right? Uh, Style is a communication which includes verbal and non-verbal skills, right? So you should use the correct style of communication to make your communication more effective, right? So what are important communication styles? Aggressive, that aggressive style is that you're winning at any cost, not respecting others, right? You are aggressive, that means you want to win and you want to don't in generally we don't respect others when we are aggressive. Passive and submissive means you don't want any kind of conflict, right? The control you want to give to others, and if you are passive then you are losing your self respect, right? Because you have to follow others in that case. Then passive aggressive means you try to get your own way without taking responsibility. You want to work in your own way, but you don't want to be the leader, right? So you are hurting yourself and others also. So it's the worst scenario. Assertive is the condition where you are respecting others and you are maintaining self-respect, right? So some examples are also given. Not caring about others' views and needs. This is aggressive. Dismissing, ignoring, or insulting others, shouting, using strong words, not listening to them. So this results in ill feeling, anger, breakdown of communication. So this is not good for a good communication standard, right? Passive में क्या है? You keeping quiet and not expressing yourself. You're not expressing yourself, accepting even wrong remarks from others. Even others give a wrong response to you, even then you are expressing it, then you are accepting it, and saying sorry even when it is not your mistake. So these are some of the examples. It hurts the feelings, confidence is lost, and misunderstanding is created. And the third category, that passive aggressive, indirect way of showing anger, such as not doing a task, lying about it, right? So you show your anger, you're not doing anything, and you're just telling lie. Resentment means your willingness is not there to do something, and talking ill about others in their absence. This is also a part of it. So this results in not getting the results you want from the communication, and it creates bad feeling for each and every one. Then if you are respecting others, and you are also making self-respect, maintaining your self-respect, you're respecting others also, and your respect is also maintained. तो इसकी एग्जाम्पल्स हैं एक्सप्रेसिंग योर सेल्फ वाइल लिसनिंग टू अदर्स. So whenever you're listening, you also express yourself, your thoughts, your points, understand the views of other people or problems of the other people, disagreeing or saying no without hurting others. So if you want to say no, even then you say it in a polite way so that it doesn't hurt others. And this is the most effective way of communication, and you are able to understand others much better, and that too, they too can understand you, right? So this is the most best way of communication, right? So this assertive communication is the best way for healthier type of communication. So we express your views without disrespecting others. You respect others, you give your opinions and wishes clearly, and you being open to others also. So you listen to them and you give your points also, right? So balance is there between the needs and your needs and other needs, right? So balance is very important here. फायदे क्या हैं assertive communication के? You build confidence, self respect, right? It prevents you from saying words or doing actions that you may regret later. ऐसे वर्ड्स नहीं बोलेंगे आप जो जिससे आपको बाद में पछतावा हो. And others feels positive, you will also feel positive. So it shows make sure that everyone expresses their ideas and meets all the conditions, and it becomes helps you to become more confident worker and a better communicator. The confidence level is also increased if you do this kind of communication practice, right? How do we practice assertive communication? There are 7 actions for this thing. First of all, be confident when you want to speak, right? So whenever you came into the room, come smartly with confidence. This gains the attention, your attention by others, right? So always sit in a confident way, walk in a confident way, and talk in a confident way, right? Keep your shoulders straight, your chin up, maintain eye contact, and control signs for physical nervousness like biting nails or tingling the fingers. ऐसे चीज़ों को control करो, right? Second point is that you should be clear and speak slowly. Too fast, if you are too fast, will not give people the time to listen and understand. When you're too fast, the other people may not understand you, right? So to stay calm, even if the other person is aggressive, you should stay calm and reply in a firm way, in a lighter way, right? So use a clear, calm voice. Be loud enough so that everybody can heard you, they can hear you. And the people aren't, if people aren't noticing you, you may say excuse me. And don't be apologetic when you don't have anything wrong, or you haven't done anything wrong. So don't feel sorry if you're not done anything wrong, right? And always give a short and correct speech. So whatever you are communicating, it should be short and correct. Dress up should be correct, right? Dress neatly, smartly, and correctly according to the place and occasion. So this helps you to look confident and attractive when others are listening to you. And people may not listen to you seriously if you're not dressed properly. People will pay respect to you when you're dressed in a proper way. Then be honest. Being honest build the trust and results in good communication. So honest रहना है. आप don't tell lie there, right? इधर उधर की फालतू बात नहीं करनी चाहिए. Will always um, stick to the facts. So always express clearly and honestly, and ask yourself what you actually want and what will work best for you before agreeing to something. So whenever somebody asks you to agree or not, do you agree or not, then you should reply after actually analyzing everything. Do you really want to go with that point or not, right? Then don't be aggressive, shouting, getting angry, using bad language, or pushing someone is a non assertive kind of communication, right? So this should be avoided. Even if you face an unfair situation, you should stay calm and try to understand the problem, right? So you should insist on your rights by using logic and politeness. You be logical whenever you're talking to somebody. Be logical, be polite. Logical means that whatever you are saying, it should be correct, and you should give some examples to make it more logical, more correct, right? Then express your thoughts, ideas, opinions without worrying about other people's reaction. So don't worry what the other people will think over. You just say what you want to say and be confident in saying, right? And don't be silent. Share your feelings. Uh, Always express your opinion, and you should practice that also. This is again very, very important. Learn to say no. If you do not feel right doing something, then do not do it. Right? It's okay to refuse. So this also add up that you should respect yourself. Right? I mean, you should respect yourself. You're thinking about yourself. So it don't let others take advantage of you. Right? If you accept everything without noticing, the people may take advantage. Right? So even if you feel that something is wrong, you should not agree to that, right? So and if you agree with something that is not correct, that may harm everybody. So these are some of the important points you must keep in mind to make your communication more effective, assertive kind of communication more effective, right? Then we have certain activities, certain questions based on these things you can go through. This session is saying no, and it's a kind of a refusal skill. Again, very important point that if you want to say no without upsetting others, this part is very important. So many times we feel situations are there where you want to say no, but it is difficult to say that, right? So remember, you should not be rude and you should not upset others, right? One example is given here. Let's go through. Can I borrow your pen? One person is saying, okay, yes. I could not complete my work because I gave you my pen. But why didn't you tell me that you need the pen? So I didn't want to make you angry or be rude. It is not wrong to refuse. There are many ways of saying no politely, right? So this saying no in a polite manner is very important, right? तो डिफिकल्टी क्यों आती है नो बोलने में? दैट यू डो नॉट वांट द अदर पर्सन टू बी अपसेट, you do not want to get into the arguments, right? I do not want to be left out of the group, right? You do feel that कि मैं no बोलूंगा तो मुझे वो ग्रुप में इंक्लूड नहीं करेंगे, they will move me out. So don't do this, right? So you should learn how to say no, but always say no in a politer way, right? uh, Now, A, E, I, O, U, these were the vowels we discussed earlier. Now, you can follow the steps for saying no politely by using this model, A, E, I, O, U model. The table has been shown here, right? Ask questions. Ask questions to find out how important the task is before saying no. तो नो बोलने से पहले क्वेश्चन पूछो कि भाई कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है ये काम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वाई डू वी नीड टू लीव स्कूल और वर्क अर्ली, right? So someone asks you to leave your school early so that you can go for the friend's house together. So you think it is wrong because leaving school early is wrong. So you can ask a question कि क्यों भी ऐसा क्यों करना है, right? So this is important. Then engage by using certain polite statement. I would like to go with you, but this is the reason I don't want to go. You can put up a reason to refuse, right? Include a reason. Always give a reason that why do you don't want to do that. Fine. So these are all important models that you can study and apply. So let's end up now because I think the class is about to